What do I have to say that you want to hear? And you need to know that you need to advocate for yourself. You need to advocate for yourself every single chance that you get, especially medically. But it doesn't matter what a doctor thinks. I mean, it does, but it doesn't matter if they think that you're faking it. It doesn't matter if they think that you are just trying to seek something. If you truly are in pain, if you know this for a fact and you know something is severely wrong with your body, then fight for it. Fight for it with all you've got. And you're going to look stupid to them. You're going to look like a freaking asshole to them. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I did, and I have for many, many years. And guess what? They found cancer. Yeah, the C word. I was told that no, none of the pain that I was experiencing that sent me to the ER, which I refuse to ever go to unless I actually think I might be in severe, severe danger of like actual dying because of PTSD and trauma. Yeah, they found it. And guess what? It was on the CT scan of my abdomen on my kidney in 2021, but not found until 2023 because the 2021 person, who also was one of the people that read it in 2021, didn't think it was necessary to report it. So for the first time in my life, and I've had a lot of imaging done, I've had a lot of tests, that I went to the ER, they treated me like they believed me, like they had no even doubt. And I even had to refuse some of the medication because I was like, no, I don't want any of that. I'm coming here because something is seriously wrong with me. And it could be like appendicitis or something like that. So the same radiologist read the report and downplayed it. He downplayed it only to a lesion or a cyst, nothing major at all. And for some reason, which I still don't know why, a second radiologist read it the next day. And he says along the lines of that, but instead of downplaying it, he says that he believes instead of between a cyst or a lesion, that it's actually between like some type of cyst / lesion or renal cell carcinoma. And if you don't know the word carcinoma very well, that means cancer. So, I mean, if you're still following along and you've come across anything like this in your life, you know that, yeah, we're not doctors, but we know our bodies better than they do. And this is why us and our advocacy for ourselves and fighting super freaking hard, no matter how horribly painful it is and how triggering it is and how much trauma it causes, we really need to fight for ourselves. It is extremely important at this time to also have some type of counseling because, I mean, like me, this has caused extreme PTSD. It's just super triggering. Of course, at this point, I've already seen this CT scan because I don't ever leave a CT scan or any type of imaging ever without my own copy. So I've already seen it. I've already seen that there is something odd on my kidney that's large enough for me to even see. And so, you know, I researched this too as soon as I get the results, which they were not supposed to be released to me because that kind of stuff is not supposed to be released to a patient unless the doctor approves it. And they specifically said, my doctor did, he said not to release it until he said so he could talk to me personally, because he's a great human. Like, you know, that's not something you just want to like read about and not know anything about like on a weekend, right before a weekend. Well, I found out anyways, and so I researched. So at this point, I do know that there is a possibility that it is cancer, but I don't understand yet the statistics. I just know that it could be, and I'm like, okay, I know not to freak out. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I can do that. Like, you know, I've been diagnosed with like a gazillion different things. I mean, I'm used to this. It's never been this extreme, but I've always thought that it someday might be because of how extreme my symptoms are. So we did our research. I did. Apparently, my husband did a lot of hours of research home, or off work. I don't know, but he and me basically already kind of knew what the doctor was going to say by the time we got to a urologist surgeon. So what he says is that it's likely that it is a renal cell carcinoma, which is aggressive. But usually they don't find it unless it's over 2 centimeters in size. And mine was at the biggest diameter, 1.8 centimeters. Even though in 2021 it was 1.3 centimeters. And they did see it back then. And that's why they can look back and compare the size. They just never reported it, right? So at least we have that to go by. We know that it's growing. So that's important, very important factor. And so we basically just like waited for 1 month, and we did another CT scan a month later, and he didn't even wait for the radiology report. The doctor didn't. He just does it himself and on top of the radiology report in the office, and said, let's go ahead, and instead of like, we think that it could have grown 0.1 centimeter, which isn't that much, right? But if it is growing, and we know it's growing because it has grown, even if it's a slow rate, we know it's grown since 2021. Like, at this point, we're just like waiting around to see if it grows more, and not necessarily if it will, but when it will. And then we're also like, just like, I mean, we're just waiting. Like, it's the likelihood that it was like more than 80% chance that this was actual renal cell carcinoma. So the more we waited, that would mean the more likelihood it would be that it would spread to my local lymph nodes and other parts of my body. So in that appointment, I said, yeah, let's go for it. And we did. We went for it. On February 2nd of this year, I had that mass removed, and because it was exophytic, which usually can be a bad thing, because that means like, like here's your like imagine my glasses are like the my kidney, right? The bottom part of my kidney, and so like it means it's hanging out like down away from my kidney. That can like spread fast. Wow, that was loud. It can spread faster sometimes, but it did not like go past the fatty tissue of my liver. So that was great. And when they went in there, they got it out. They only had to remove 0.1 millimeter. No, not 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters of my right kidney. And yeah, that's like way more of a kidney than you would ever want removed. Because why would you ever want any kidney removed? But let me tell you, like, it is amazing when you have gone through, I mean, I've lost count of the years, but easily 15 years of just like chronic pain and chronic symptoms. And no, this hasn't solved everything, but it has actually helped a lot of the symptoms that even the doctor and the surgeon that believed me from day one and like knew what it was from day one, he never even thought that it was causing any of the pain that I was feeling that was causing me to go to the ER on those like super short, like 3 visits. Really recently, my like arm pain, my shoulder pain, he didn't even, and like even my arm weakness and writing, he didn't think it was causing any of that. Well, guess what? It was, because it's gone. Yeah. And this is why you should fight. Okay? I mean, I know I seem super happy, like, yeah, it's horrible that I had cancer, but it is way more horrible for cancer to not be found until it's too late. If we had waited 6 months, a year, I mean, definitely more, but even that, it wasn't a matter of if it was going to happen. It was a matter of when, because they tested it and it was stage 2 clear cell renal cell carcinoma, an aggressive, very aggressive cancer. It would have spread. And say, for example, 2 years from now, they would have found it, I would be looking very, very different right now. I would be either possibly still in chemo and radiation or suffering from the aftermaths of that. And so I'm extremely grateful. So don't stop fighting. Don't stop fighting. I know it's hard whenever you have doctor after doctor after doctor, like specialists and specialists and all these other people, and they tell you like nothing's wrong, or they think that it's just some, like, they diagnose three symptoms that you have or so, and they give you a medicine and it doesn't work and it makes you worse, and like you just keep going and it's so horrible and the pain is so bad, and you just think that you just don't know, because like these doctors also tell you, oh, you're going to be in pain for the rest of your life. I'm not saying that I'm not. I am in pain. I do live with chronic pain every day, and I might always. I don't know. But there is a reason. There is an actual reason, and doctors don't know as much as what most people think that they do. So yeah, you fight for your life. You fight for yourself. You advocate for yourself as if it was like your last breath.